Well, good morning, everyone. Happy Monday morning. Today is Monday, June 12th, 2023, and we get together with our distribution partners most weekday mornings. We have shared with each of you our training agendas for today and tomorrow, and we actually even have Wednesdays planned out. So we're getting ahead of the curve. Today, we're going to talk about some more funding proposal success stories. I think it's helpful for you to see successful results as both further motivation for you individually, and then to maybe be more persuasive and supportive as you're speaking to prospects about going through the process themselves. So let's go through this. As shared on the screen here, we launched the free funding proposal campaign to make it easy for entrepreneurs to get funding to start or grow a business with no upfront cost. By simply providing their name, phone, and email, we can help them obtain funding offers with no hard inquiries. Better yet, they can select the offers they want and decline those that they don't. And we're going to go through in a moment and talk about some of these incredible funding offers that we're seeing. Each funding offer that someone receives may very well be different in terms of the amount of funding, in the structure. Sometimes it's a line of credit, sometimes it's a term loan. The interest rates will even vary. But what's wonderful is that the consumer, the client, the participant is in charge. They're going to see the funding offers that they qualify for, and they pick or opt into those that they want, and then they simply decline those that they don't. So our goal, as you can see, is we want to help people get a free funding proposal. And by doing that, we help them find out what they qualify for now. Then, so it doesn't stop at that point, right? Then we continue to work with them to raise a minimum of $100,000. Now, we're increasingly seeing people that are qualifying for $100,000 or more from even this first tranche, from the first round of funding offers. But that's not really the mindset we should go in. Some people will qualify for that, and we'll see an example in just a moment. But often they're going to qualify for some portion now, and then we're going to work with them to do what? To have the documentation and credibility needed for a larger loan. We kind of say jokingly, and we've talked about it before, you can't just want business funding. You can't just need business funding. You need to qualify for it. And that's what you and I do. We're helping people as technical advisors have the documentation and the credibility needed for a large business loan. And we promise that it'll work. We guarantee that it'll work. So through our grant-subsidized program, we strengthen each client's file by improving personal and/or business credit, which includes adding primary trade lines and blocking applicable negative items, transferring assets to provide collateral, building capacity, and so forth. So it's not too good to be true. It's following what you would anticipate. We're going to build a loan package so we have the documentation, and we're going to help them improve their credibility with their 3 C's to get to the larger capital raise. But first, we're going to find out what they qualify for now and get them that now, even before we build their credibility for the larger capital raise. So kind of a 2-step approach, 2 tranches. First tranche right now, in most cases, they should receive that within 7 days. And then we move forward in building the loan package, which we call the documentation, and building their 3 C's, credit, collateral, and capacity to qualify for whatever else they want. Sometimes people will look at this 100,000 and they make a mistake. It's a minimum. So when we applied for the grant, received the grant, it's a commitment that we'll work with the client to get at least 100,000. So in other words, 100,000 is the minimum, not the maximum. If they want more, they qualify for more, that's fine. The process is the same. All right, so let's go ahead and look at some examples from just this past week. So we've gone through samples before, or examples, not samples, examples before, but here are some that just came in. So as of the time that we created the agenda, they were hot off the press. So Mr. Lyond, Lyond, his came in June 8th. Now, we're recording this on June 12th, but of course, this was prepared back, I guess, on the 9th or the 10th, but submitted on June 8th. Mr. Lyon received 44 funding offers. More could be coming, but at this point, 44 funding offers. The total amount of the funding offers that he has in his possession at this point is 295,000. So I am not wanting you to think everyone will get 44 funding offers right away that are almost 300,000, but some people do, and that's important to understand. So that's why we talk about a success story. The next is client Shorter, also submitted the same day. You notice all these were submitted the same day because what we did is we stopped, we looked back at the applicants the day prior and put this agenda together. So that's why they're all dated June 8th. We've had other success stories from other dates, but this is meant to show, look what just happened yesterday, or yesterday as of the time that this agenda was created. Shorter did not receive 44, did not. Shorter received 14. And those totaled 74,200. Now we're guaranteeing the minimum 100,000, but remember we talked about there's often going to be two tranches. The initial tranche of what they qualify for initially, then we work with them to build the documentation, build credit, build collateral, build capacity. That's the second tranche. So Shorter, still I think a success story, 14 offers to pick from, totaling up 74,200. Fleming, same day as I mentioned, all these were pulled the same day. Only received 7 funding offers. So does that mean that somehow we dropped the ball, that we didn't give Fleming the same love and attention that we gave Lyon? No. This is the baseline, right? This is when they're coming into us and we're getting their initial funding offers. So we have over 40 different banks, credit unions, and alternative lenders without any hard inquiries that's kind of competing for the business. All of them want to loan Mr. Lyon money. All of them want to loan Shorter money. All of them want to loan Fleming money. But the amount of money that they're willing to loan to each varies initially, right? That's because it's based upon their file. But once the client comes in, they get their first funding offer, their first tranche. Then we work with them on building their documentation and improving their credit, their collateral and capacity, so we can get to that higher level. So it's not too good to be true. If you understand what I'm describing, then it makes perfect sense. I think it's the perfect economic model. And then the fourth, and there was many other examples from June 8th, but I always like to keep the agenda to one page. So we stopped with 4. That's as much space as we had. So in the case of Mr. Hersey, again, same day, all of them were pulled the same day. He received 9 funding offers, which is great. We'll, of course, continue to work with him to get at least 100,000, but he had funding offers of 31,000. Ooh, there's an extra digit there. So I don't know if it's 31,245 or there's a digit off there, but anyway, around 31,000 was offered already. So clients will receive at least 1 funding offer, at least 1. Many will receive multiple funding offers, and then the client can select those that they want to accept for their first tranche. Any questions so far on, I guess, big picture of what you and I do, or on these 4 examples? Now, again, each of these funding offers had different terms, different repayment periods, different payments, different interest rates. The market is making the offers, right? You and I are not the lenders. We're not the bank, but we're facilitating, helping the client get their initial funding offers. And then equally as importantly, we're helping them create the documentation like the business plan, financial projections, and helping them have the 3 C's necessary: credit, collateral, and capacity to qualify for the larger amount. So if you get that, it all makes sense. If you don't get that, it probably doesn't. Everyone will get at least 1 funding offer, but many people get multiple. but we don't know. So that's what makes it, frankly, easy for you as a small business consultant. If you're talking to a prospective participant and they start asking you many questions, most of the answers is, I don't know. We need to get you some free funding offers, because they might ask you, well, how much will I get right now? I don't know. We need to get you some free funding offers. What's interest rate going to be? I don't know. We need to get you plugged in here and get you some free funding offers. Now, if they ask things like, is this going to impact my credit? The answer is no. There's no credit impact to their funding offers. If they ask, is this going to be personal or business? It'll depend upon their circumstance. We'll get them offers, but again, they don't have to accept anything that they don't want. Are we all good there? Any questions? When for the longest time, we were a bit hesitant to start putting these success stories out because it's not accurate to project this to the next person, because each person is going to get their own offer. So is this real? Does it work? Is all this honest? Of course. But, for instance, Daphne's on here. So if Daphne were to go out to everyone, which she wouldn't do, she's smart enough, but to say, well, hey, apply for a free funding proposal and you'll get over 40 offers for at least 300,000. That's not a true statement, right? We don't know what each client will get until we go through the process. But they don't have to accept any offers that they don't like. Everyone will get at least one. All right, so now let's get down to the bottom of the page. What's in it for you? Because certainly you and I care about helping other people, and that's probably our intrinsic motivation. But in addition to that, there's great benefits to you as a small business consultant. So you earn, as you probably know, 3% of the capital raise. So let's say that you're the person that referred in Lion, and let's say that Lion decided to accept all of these funding offers that he's been offered. Well, 3%, I'm not that good at math, but 3%, we'll just round this to 300,000. You would make around $9,000 by having just referred in this prospect. You didn't sell him anything. You didn't have to persuade him of anything. All you're simply doing is taking him to your link and entering his name, his email, and phone number into free funding proposal. Then we're going to turn around and send an Adobe application that you'll want to let the prospect know, hey, you're going to receive a one-page application through Adobe that you're going to want to complete, because you're going to need that for us to be able to get your funding offers. So again, you earn 3% of the capital raise of each person you refer in. There's no selling involved. There's nothing free to sell. It's just, hey, let's get you some free funding offers. Let them know that they'll be getting that one-page Adobe. So you should make at least 3,000. Well, why is that? Well, 3% of the minimum of 100,000, of course, is 3,000. Could be a lot more, just like we saw. All you need to do is get in their name, their phone number, and their email address. They can put it in on your page. We give you each a free replicated website. If you don't want them to put it in, you can put it in. But what's key is that they understand that they're going to be receiving the Adobe app. And without that Adobe app being completed, there won't be any funding offers. So this is kind of your landing page that gets them in the system. We need the Adobe app completed to get them offers. If you're not a small business consultant, we recommend or encourage you to become one. There's no upfront cost. You can do that on the careers page. And regardless if you are a consultant or not, we certainly encourage you to make sure that you watch that free training. There's 3 training videos that we put on this page that if you just watch those 3, you should have a really solid understanding of what this is about, how it works, more success stories. It might take you about 30 minutes a piece for each of the training videos. That would be 90 minutes. But my goodness, in 90 minutes, you're going to be ready to start making money. So, and of course, our contact information is below. So I'll make this a bit smaller. Who has questions, comments, concerns on what we've covered today? It's not new information. It's not a change in process, but we do want you to be confident in doing what we do, which is to encourage people to get a free funding proposal. It's easy. They don't have any upfront cost. Not a free program though, right? Because of the capital that we help them raise, they pay 10, and that allows us to pay you 3%, and then your state director gets an override off of that. So our program is not free in the sense that they are going to pay for the funding, but it is true that there is no upfront cost. All right, so let's get to the questions, comments, concerns that each of you have. Otis asked, do you have to be a small business consultant to earn the 3%? That's the development of the model. Now, technically, you could bypass that. The truth is, because if you go on our website to our partners page, that's where we have the affiliate link, and you can become an affiliate for free. And so affiliates make the 3% just like small business consultants do. It's just small business consultants get some extra benefits, extra training, support, and resources that a rank and file and affiliate doesn't get. But we do need to have you loaded in the system, Otis. Otherwise, we wouldn't know who to pay. You wouldn't have your free replicated website to refer to. All right, great question, Otis. Who else has questions, comments, concerns? On tomorrow's training, on Tuesday, June 13th, we're going to kind of take this and package it as a Craigslist ad, or an ad that could be placed many other places. So I've already sent that out to each of you. If you're a small business consultant, you should have already received tomorrow's agenda, which we will go through, which takes this and just it positions it as a Craigslist ad or a posting. And then on Wednesday, we're going to do an assessment together. We have, it's about 15 questions that we go through to make sure that each of our small business consultants is properly trained. So that'll be Wednesday. All right, who else has questions on today? So Warren says he's not received the email. So Warren, what I'd recommend, anyone that didn't receive the email, go ahead and email us. Let us know that you're not on the distribution chain, and we can problem solve, because it could be either we don't have you set up properly, or maybe it went into your junk mail. I don't know on the fly, but anyone that didn't receive this agenda, tomorrow's agenda, so forth, email us and we'll problem solve that. Sorry about that, Warren. Daphne's asking about nonprofits. And so we have two nonprofits, two 501c3s currently, and we actually just received an approval over the weekend for a third that's going to have a specifically different role. So yes, we have both for-profit and nonprofit entities under our umbrella. From your perspective, yes, you can leverage those as you go out to the marketplace, and guaranteed funding itself is a nonprofit. Also, if you'd like, we can set up a nonprofit specifically for you that you manage, you're the executive director of, that then you could use as your vehicle for community outreach. And that would happen under what's called our startup business program, which you'll see on guaranteed funding. Thank you, Daphne, for that question. All right, so who else has questions, comments, concerns on today's topic? I'll recap and then we'll address any remaining questions. So today's goal was to go through some more funding proposal success stories. We gave you a little bit of a backdrop on what we're doing together. We went through just four more, frankly, just four, because that's what fit and kept us on one page. But what we can see is the process works. Everyone will get at least one funding proposal. Many people will get multiple. They could get lots and lots, or they could get a little, but everyone will get at least one funding offer. The purpose is to help them first get their initial tranche of funding, and then secondly, move forward and help them create the documentation and build the credibility with their 3 C's: credit, collateral, and capacity. Daphne's asking if we could add some of this onto your replicated websites, and certainly I can certainly request that. Yes, I can. Any other questions, comments, concerns today? I mean, ultimately, it's up to you. If you're a small business consultant, we've made some promises to you and you made some promises to us. And one of the promises that you made is after an initial 30-day period, you will be active and you'll drive in at least 2 prospects a week. Man, it's really easy to feed in 2 people a week for a free funding proposal. But if you're not doing that, you're not remaining active, and that means you're in default. And so we need to problem solve. If you're a small business consultant and with the training and the support and the resources that we provide for you, you're not able to generate at least 2 clients a week, something's broken. So get with us. We should be scheduling weekly calls with each of you to make sure that we're on track and you're on track. But you can also email us in advance, because what we agreed to do is provide the training, the tools, the resources, so you're able to be successful. But what you promised to do as a small business consultant is after a 30-day grace period, referring at least 2 clients a week on an ongoing basis. And if you're not doing that, then again, you're in breach of the agreement, of the license agreement, and there's a financial impact to you. Because in other words, we waive the license fee as long as you're actively participating. But if you're not, then you owe the license fee. So it's important that we do all that we can to help you be successful. In closing, Daphne's asking about a Facebook page. Well, you certainly wouldn't be empowered to open a Facebook page for business paralegal or for our entities, but you certainly could create your own entity, Daphne, and have your own social media. So no, you're not authorized to create social media campaigns on behalf of our organization, but yes, you certainly could for your own entity and use that as a lead generator. All right, well, thanks everyone. We'll see you back tomorrow morning. And tomorrow morning, what we're going to do is we're going to go through a sample Craigslist ad that is ready to plug and play. But again, I have sent that to you all already. That was sent to you over the weekend, so you don't even have to wait till tomorrow. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.